What's up, Math 8? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're going to be looking at our Chapter 3 test review, so let's go ahead and go over those correct answers. Number 1, which inequality is represented by the graph shown below? This is a closed circle pointing to the left, so it can be none other than D. X is less than or equal to 3. Number 2, we're supposed to solve it and then graph it. So if you have k plus 17 is less than negative 3, the first step you would do is subtract 17 from both sides. You're going to get k is less than negative 20, which is option A, closed circle pointing to the left. Number 3 is also a solving question. What I would do first is I would just rewrite this as negative 1/7 x is greater than negative 5. Then, if you recall, to solve using solve fractions, we're dividing, but dividing fractions is the same thing as changing it by multiplying by its reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 7 over 1. These are going to cancel out, so x is all that's left. I will have to flip my inequality symbol since I'm multiplying by a negative number, and negative 5 over 1 times negative 7 over 1 is 35 over 1, which is equal to 35. So my answer to this one is x is less than 35, which is option A. Number 4, write the word sentence as an inequality and then solve the inequality. 3 times a number is at least negative 24, should be 3 times x is greater than or equal to negative 24. When I solve this, I divide both sides by 3 so that x is greater than or equal to negative 8, so that is option C. Number 5 says, write the word sentences as an inequality. The cheapest ticket for a concert is $38.50. That just means it's equal to $38.50 or more. So x is greater than or equal to $38.50. Twice the number w minus 4 is less than 5. That just means 2 times w minus 4 is less than 5. And then to earn a prize at the carnival, your ticket total must be at least 35. So that means ticket should be at least or greater than or equal to 35. Number 8 states the requirements to become a lifeguard shown. You must be older than 14 years old, must be able to swim at least 1,000 meters, and to be willing to work at most 30 hours. Write and graph 3 inequalities that represent the requirements, 2 points each, 1 point for the graph, 1 point for the inequality. The first one says older than 14, since x is greater than 14. So on your number line, you must have an open circle pointing to the right. The next one is swimming at least 1,000 meters. That is greater than or equal to 1,000. So that is a closed circle pointing to the right. We could have 2,000 here and maybe 0 here. And then the last one, at most 30 hours, less than or equal to 30, 30 or less. So if I have 30, maybe 29, and then 31 over this side, that's a closed circle pointing to the left. If you are 156 months old, do you satisfy the requirements to become a lifeguard? Well, we know that 156 is the number of months, but I want to know how many years that is. So I'm going to divide 156 by 12. 156 divided by 12 is going to give me 13. And I have to be older than 14 years old, so the answer is no. Number 9, we're going to continue to solve this one. So the first thing we need to do is try to get n by itself. In that case, we're going to be able to add 3 to both sides. We get 3n is greater than or equal to 45, then divide both sides by 3. N is now greater than or equal to 15. So here's my 15, and I'm pointing to the right. Number 10, again solving, I would maybe start by adding 4 to each side. So now I have negative 3g is less than or equal to negative 12. Dividing both sides by negative 3 means I have to flip my inequality symbol, so g is greater than or equal to 4. That is a closed circle pointing right. And then number 11, I would subtract 1 from both sides. I get negative m over 12 is less than or equal to 1. In order to undo division, I'm going to multiply by negative 12 on both sides. So m is less than or equal to negative 12. There's a fire engine outside. Hopefully those people are okay. We're going to do a closed circle pointing to the left. Number 12, you earn $9 per hour at your summer job. Write and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours you need to work in order to buy a digital camera that costs $387. So $9 per hour means 9 times X, the number of hours. And then if I want a digital camera that costs $387, I probably want to be able to solve, or to be able to at least work to where I have at least $387. So we should do 9x is greater than or equal to 387. Then I would solve it by dividing by 9. X would be greater than or equal to whatever 387 divided by 9 is, and that is 43. So I need to work a minimum of 43 hours. Okay. And then our last one is our extended response. You have $129.59 to buy pizza for your birthday party. You will tip the delivery driver $15, and if each pizza costs $23.50, how many pizzas can you buy? If you're going to tip your delivery driver, that's $15 by itself, but you have $23.50 per pizza, so that's 23.50x. And then I only have $129.59, so that's less than or equal to $129.59. Okay. Now, what I can do is start to solve this. So the first thing I'm going to do this in a different color so you can kind of see my work here. I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. Okay, that'll give me 23.50x is less than or equal to 114.59. My final step is to divide both sides by 23.50 to see how many pizzas I can actually buy. So 114.59 divided by 23.50 is X is less than or equal to 4.87. So I would probably need to buy only 4 pizzas or less. And the reason is if I tried to round this up to 5, 23.50 times 5 is already 117.50. And if I added on my $15 tip, that's going to make it be $132.50. And I don't have $132. I only have $129. So that's why we don't want to use 5 pizzas. We want to do 4 pizzas or less. Okay. That's going to conclude our Chapter 3 test review.